What's going on, sons of Montezuma? The Aztecs are back in the win column. They take down Hawaii 27-24 at Snapdragon Stadium, and the Padres even things up. We're going to talk about it all right now. Let's go.
Neal, San Diego State's quarterback. 3rd down and 5. Hands it off. Cooper has a crease. Touchdown Aztecs. They're at the bottom of the screen. 1st down. O'Neal across the middle. Completion to Brown. Touchdown San Diego State. From 43. Handled by Pastula. And the kick is through. States.
Yeah. It's a celebration Monday, James. You know, it's been a minute since we've had a celebration Monday, a victory Monday for the Aztecs. What do you think, man? Should we gotta break out the fight song, man? Gotta break out the fight song. The Aztecs win. The Aztecs win. That's right. The fight song is in full effect. The boys were singing it loud on Saturday night. The Aztecs take down Hawaii 27-24. As mentioned, it's one win, James. So let's not get carried away, right? Let's not get carried away. But hey, we're thankful that you guys are here joining us here live on YouTube. It's Sons of Montezuma. Before you guys do anything, make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button. We have been doing this for years. And boy, it's showing from all the gray in James' beard.
See, I've got mine, bro. Too many seasons of Aztec football, man. That's why I'm such an early gray guy.
Well, you can find us at sonsofmontezuma.com, Sons of Monty on X, Twitter, Sons of Montezuma on Instagram, Facebook, all that good stuff. And of course, that was the voice of one, K5 James. K5 James, how you doing?
Yeah. How you doing? Good, man. I was bummed I didn't go to the game. I wasn't able to make it to the game, so I got to live vicariously through the stories you told me the next day. So, and it's always good. It's always good when they come home with that W.
Blew the Aztecs off, dude. You blew them off for a party. Look at you, party. My James wants to party all the time. Party all the time. Hey, we were partying. I know you were watching up there at the party, and with our
I could only watch the first half, man. The cell signal was so bad there that I was like, oh man, it's driving me nuts.
Oh boy, where were you at where there was no internet? Oh, okay. So
I was out in some ranch in the middle of like Nuevo, California. Have you ever heard of Nuevo, California?
No,
like way out there past Murrieta.
No mames,
in the middle of nowhere, dude.
God. Well, if you were out somewhere in the boons like James and you did not hear that the Aztecs won 27-24, well, they did. It happened at Snapdragon Stadium. The Aztecs take down the Rainbow Warriors. We knew it was going to be a tough game. You know, we came off that bye, hit the road, and barely lost to Central Michigan. Should have won that game. We'd be probably feeling a little different right now at this point. But hey, we're feeling good. We got the victory over a tough Hawaii team who they were coming off of a bye. And, you know, they're a different Hawaii team when they're not on the islands, right, James? I mean, they play tough, but you get them outside of their their zip code across the Pacific. You know, you got a chance, but they always play us tough.
Yeah, they're a different team off the island for sure, but they're still a solid team, man. I didn't realize how good their defense was until I watched the game, and then I looked at the stats after the game. So it was a pretty solid performance. The Aztecs getting the win against that. You know, they're not a great team, but they're a solid team. So yeah. Any W is good, but it's always good to get the conference off started with a conference win.
Absolutely, that's a great point. I mean, 1-0 in the conference, right? You know, we're sitting there looking at the schedule and the record, like, you know, 1-3, 3 in a row. But then, okay, cooler heads kind of prevail. Like first conference game, and they had to have it, and they got it. At the end of the day, you could look at the stats, and everything's very comparable between the two, man. I mean, Hawaii total yards, passing yards, rushing yards. They had the edge in all three of those categories, but it wasn't like San Diego State wasn't right there with them. The game was kind of back and forth. I mean, we had the lead for the most part, and then they took it back in the fourth quarter, and I'm thinking, oh no, here we go. Every time we play those guys at home, they make it so tough on us. Shout out to the Hawaii Sports Fans Podcast. Those guys, Wayne, Sean and Ryan, those guys came out with their crew. They brought, I think they were like 100 deep, and that was just their crew. I mean, Hawaii brought out their contingency. They brought their band out there. Like, they were well represented, and we had a great time hanging out with them. But I told them, I said, look, this game is coming down to the final stop, final touchdown, however you want to slice it. That's what it's going to be. And sure enough, it did. Came down to the final drive, and we made that stop.
Yeah, it's a bummer for them that they're going home with a loss, but I think they can be pleased with the performance. Their team didn't quit. They didn't get run out of the building or anything like that. It was a tough battle. It could have gone either way. So I think it was still a good road trip for them. Come out to San Diego for a few days and have some fun and watch your team play.
Absolutely. Okay, James. Well, you weren't at the game. I was there. And I wanted to bring in our other side of the Sons of Montezuma podcast. That, of course, is one SD Sports Fiend, who was also there with us enjoying the tailgating festivities. And, of course, yeah, he's got his Ras Masuli Ulu Algu. Oh man, he's got the koozie.
Number 63, representing.
What's going on, Fiend? How you doing?
What's up, man? I'm doing well. Yeah, I had a great time hanging out with the guys from Hawaii. What a great fan base, man. I mean, they were so chill and just really enjoyed hanging out with them at the tailgate and during the game. And it's the second time I've met Wayne with the was it the Rainbow Roundup Hawaii podcast. Man, those guys are. I mean, that guy's been to like 100 games. Did you know that? He's been to like 100 straight games. That's really impressive. 100 now. Over 100, yeah, over 100 straight Hawaii games. I mean, and that, you know, you're talking about just those flights, man. I mean, that's like us going to the East Coast, you know, to fly to see an Aztec game. That's true dedication. So really cool to hang out with those guys, man. Had to sweat out that win, man. That was a hard fought win, you know, and had my doubts there, like in the fourth quarter, you know, from past games, you know, where we kind of folded, and you know, towards the end, especially the defense, you know, running out of gas, and it was like we needed to make a defensive stand there at the end, and man, we got it, you know, and so real proud of the guys for bowing their backs and getting the stops when we needed them.
Absolutely.
I think that's probably the right way to look at the game, was from the defensive side, right? Getting the stops when you had to get them. But let's start off talking about the offense, guys, because that was something coming in, you know, 21 points in that first half against Central Michigan, and then they get goose-egged in the second half, and you're thinking like, oh, come on, like who put the brakes on? And, you know, coming into this game, 14 points in the second quarter. So it was another pretty well-rounded, productive first half. 17 points going into the half, 17-10. Danny O'Neal, quarterback, QB1 Danny O'Neal, guys. All right, let's be real. No interceptions up to this point. And I know that's a big talking point when you get to, you know, the fifth game of the season. And yeah, he's only played in 4 of them, but you got to take your hat off to the freshman, true freshman. 224 yards passing in this game. He completed his first 10 passes or so, maybe even 11 passes. I escaping my memory to start the game, and you're thinking like, okay, yeah, you know, he's coming in, and it's like every week you just see a little bit more progression in what he's able to do out there, right? Who wants to talk a little bit about Danny, guys?
Yeah, man. I'll be real quick. we talk about it every week, it seems like, about how he just doesn't put the ball in a dangerous spot. And it's showing in his numbers. And I was thinking about it before the podcast started. He's got to be like getting close to the record for attempts without an interception at San Diego State. I don't know what it is. I'll have to look it up in the record book. But man, it's impressive the way he is so smart with the football as a true freshman. He just doesn't put it in dangerous spots, and he's still like taking shots downfield. So it's not like, everything's being thrown behind a line of scrimmage. He's taking good shots. So I'm super pleased with the way he's playing, and I think he's only going to continue to. I think by the end of this year, we're going to be like, wow, man, we're set at quarterback.
Yeah, and it's not like he's like just a game manager like we've had at quarterbacks in the past where they just hand off and you just can't lose the game. And he's actually, like you said, tossing it downfield. 72% completion rate this game. That's amazing. So I mean, he's really efficient with the ball. We're not getting the touchdowns. It's not translating to touchdowns yet, but I mean, he's moving the ball and getting first downs and moving the chains and keeping our defense off the field. So I think last couple of games he's been really good and really solid. The one area that I think has been really hurting him is the run game, and he does, his leg seemed like it was injured again, bothered him in this game, and he just doesn't really have the wheels right now to be that dual threat quarterback. He's more of a drop back sort of pocket passer. And he's great at it. But, with this offense, it really requires a triple threat. And so not having that running ability, it puts a lot of strain on the other areas of the offense.
And I think it's a little unfair to kind of maybe knock him on his running ability at this point. I mean, to me, from the eyeball test, right, he's not the biggest physical guy back there, but I mean, he's a true freshman. And he obviously got dinged up in that first game or so. So it's like, okay, give him some time, man. We're in the fifth game of the year, and it's been nothing but pretty much positives from what I've seen. Of course, a couple things you can nitpick about, but one of the things I'm looking at, you mentioned it, Fiend, kind of being hobbled by that leg injury, which you could tell was still bothering him a little bit. That first drive, I mean, it looked like it was a bad start to the game. And you immediately kind of saw in that first half, like, oh, he's got a little hitch in the giddy up. But his ability to really just work with Coach Lewis, and really get rid of the ball quickly, or even just be tough in there and let that thing fly on those deep passes, is really impressive. Of course, he did get sacked. I think he got sacked 4 or 5 times in this game, right? That's a little worrisome. But 5 for 5 in the red zone, guys. So they could have had more opportunities to get in that red zone as well. But 5 for 5, you're taking care of the ball. That's a recipe for winning. Absolutely.
Absolutely. And especially the no interceptions thing, man. I keep harping on it, but that's a big deal. Him not turning the ball over. And it's kind of shocking to see him playing as a true freshman like that. And not making mistakes, those big mistakes.
I love what we're seeing here in the chat. It's absolutely worth watching. And guys, I was very pleased to see the crowd, dude. The crowd was energetic. It was a good crowd, in the tailgate, inside the stands. Of course, it was Parents Weekend. It was Hispanic Heritage month, right? It was the game for Hispanic Heritage, right? So it was all geared towards that. And then, of course, it was like teachers appreciation type of themed game. So they were just like compounded with different promotions, different giveaways. For the bucket hat, I got that somewhere, man. I got it somewhere. It was an awesome giveaway. And so just a lot of good energy in the ballpark, in the stadium. And then you top it off with an offense with Danny Dimes running the thing. And it's like, okay, it's fun. It may not be perfect, but you're getting your money's worth when you're watching them air it out and throwing it deep, taking the cover off the ball and the defense. And getting some excited fourth down, going for it for fourth down. Coach Lewis kind of, okay, he's pulling some tricks out of the hat, and they're fun to watch, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and I
don't.
think oh, I'm sorry, dude. The
No,
thing
go ahead.
with the sacks and the running game not being quite what we want it to be yet, they had to juggle the offensive line again this game. So
Yeah.
with Bryant going down, so
Yeah.
that's like a work in progress, man. It's not going to be perfect yet, but hopefully they can get that thing squared away going forward because we've got a lot of winnable games left on the schedule, man. We still have that chance to get bowl eligible, chance, who knows, to fight for the Mountain West Championship. So I think we got to kind of give them a little leeway when it comes to guys getting sacked or, Cooper not having a very high yards per attempt average. So I think it's going to develop. It's just going to take this time. They got a bunch of new pieces on offensive line to kind of get squared away and get used to playing with each other.
I like that you bring that up. And Fiend, I'm gonna let you talk about that because when Bryant went down, that's your center. And we already had Mr. Borjon go down. So everybody was kind of sweating there for a minute there. And what was it? Mr. Abdullah came in, right?
Yep.
And held it down. And I think you really do got to tip your cap to the staff and all the guys who stepped up, next man up. We're 5th game in now, and it's not an ideal situation to plug in and play. But if you listen to Sean Lewis's presser, I mean, he's definitely given his guys some kudos on that because just rolling with the punches, and now it's starting to round out a little bit more, and kind of trial by fire. It's gonna sharpen you up real quick, having to adjust on the fly. Fiend, any thoughts? Let's talk a little bit about the offensive line and that run game and all this shakeup in the offensive line, man. Any thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, this is second game in a row that we've really cut down the penalties, so that is a great sign. I mean, the first couple of games were just rough because the offensive line, they just weren't in sync, and they were causing us to be behind the sticks, and it's very hard to get first downs and move the ball when you're constantly in 3rd and 10 situations, and but I thought they did a really good job. I think it's hard for them. It's hard for the offensive line right now because I really feel like the defense is kind of cheating over to load the box to stop Cooper. I don't think. Just going back to Danny for a second, and Danny's a fantastic arm, fantastic decision, making with the ball. But again, you need that triple threat. And when the defense doesn't respect the quarterback to run, they're going to cheat over. And when they know that, they're going to run to the left side, they're going to stack the box on that side. And it just seems like they're bringing so much pressure that it's very hard to open up those holes for Cooper to get loose. And I think, hopefully Danny's knee can heal soon and he can start pulling the ball more and they can really respect that area of the game. Because that's the one thing I think that's really kind of hurting this run game is him not being able to pull the ball when he needs to. And either tuck it and run or tuck it and run and pass. Kind of run and shoot. That is going to open up things, I think, for Cooper. But, over 100 yards, they were tough yards for him, and he was wearing a leg brace that looked like he borrowed it from a offensive lineman. I mean, very heavy brace, And so he ran hard. He ran hard. He was hurdling guys. Tough 100 yards for him, but, he gutted it out. 30 carries. That's a lot.
Yeah, that kind of gets to the point Mateo and I were talking about last week. I really feel like they need to be subbing in, getting other guys carries. I understand the trust for Cooper, and Cooper's a great player, but he was like visibly tired on some of those drives.
For sure.
And I was like, man, like bring in Sutton, bring in Armstead, bring in somebody to give him a break and give the defense a different look with a different type of back. But, the coach is riding his guy, I guess. I think they really want to try to get him that I guess there's like a 5,000 yards, rushing yards record or something like that. Not record, but a 5,000 yards milestone. I think they're really trying to get him that.
What do you get a pay bonus, get an NIL bonus for doing that, or what? What's going on?
No.
Well, more about that. We'll get into that later in the episode, guys, because that may be where we're headed. But 5,000 mark, maybe he's get a bonus. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you look at Cooper's running though, the yards per carry, it actually goes down the more carries that he's had this season. So the less carries he's had a higher yards per carry. So I totally agree with you. I loved him. What are they going to do when Kristen comes back? He's got to be coming back soon, right? I mean, and so he was, didn't he start the season listed as like the number 1 at running back, with Marquez Cooper. So, I mean, they got to find some time for him, and I brought this up, I think the first episode, after the Texas A&M Commerce game, is like, is this sustainable? Or is he going to hold up over a 12-game season carrying the ball 30 plus times a game? He's already wearing a huge, leg brace. You can tell he's hurting. And so, that is a big concern for me.
Credit at the press conference. They did ask him about that, and I see it in the chat. Is it sustainable? That was one of my questions coming in today, and I don't know if it is at this current point. With Christian coming back, Coach Lewis was asked how Christian's progress was, and you're not going to get anything. He's doing good. He's doing all right, but you're not going to get anything specific. So who knows? I mean, we do have Wyoming coming up, and it sets up with Wyoming, and then we get a second bye before Washington State. So it's a little tricky. It's a good problem to have where you can rest up some guys, get it. Hopefully Christian could be back after that second bye week, I would think, or hope. But Wyoming, we're playing at altitude. We like to run fast. They're already talking about giving the guys beat capsules, like vitamin B capsules. So everybody loves to have fun with that during the week when they go to altitude. So but that's going to be a real thing. Coach downplayed it very much. Who cares? Guys got to play, got to perform. And that's probably a little coach speak. You got to be the alpha, so you got to put that on. But it's a real thing. Otherwise, they wouldn't be taking no beat capsules. So I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah.
But hey, I hope they can mix it in. I don't know if it's sustainable over the long term, but he's such a talented runner. Cooper is, man. 31 was his longest run, and then it was just a grind the rest of it. But you see the potential there. He's got those instincts that are just, you can't teach it. And I don't think anybody else really, really, really has that mixture of what he's got. But there's plenty of talent and ability on this team. So we'll see what Wyoming brings.
Yeah, that's the deepest position on offense probably is running back, and they've hardly used any of the other running backs. So hopefully they change. Hopefully there's like a method to his madness. I don't know, but I would like to see some more guys get some carries against Wyoming just to keep Cooper fresher for the game. That way he's running the ball in the fourth quarter as strong as he did in the first quarter. But we'll see that elevation. The elevation thing in football, to me, it doesn't matter as much. Just because you get a break in between plays. It's not like basketball. Basketball, I feel like it really affects the players. Because, dude, that's no joke. I used to work in the mountains outside of San Diego, and that's like 4,500 feet, 5,000 feet. And I would get winded. I could tell the difference working in the mountains. And this is, 7,200 we're going to? So, yeah, I'm sure they're gonna feel it a little bit.
Well, we will be there. So we're going to have to smuggle in some beet juice there in the bleachers, James.
We got to sneak some in.
Yeah. Oh, thank you guys all for joining the chat. I'm seeing a lot of action in here. When Kristen comes back, got to think it's going to be a 50-50 split. I don't know. You got to ease them in. Those high ankle sprains are not easy to come back from. So, let's see. You got to run the ball. They're saying, run the dang ball, coach. Run the dang ball. But it's like, hey. The amount of carries ain't the problem. They're getting, it's balanced.
I was bringing back memories of my war I had with Bob Toledo.
Bob Toledo, offensive coordinator. That's the name you have not heard in Aztec Nation.
Oh man, that was a bad time.
All right, let's switch gears on the defense side, guys, because defense played, like we said, they made the stops when they had to make them. The defensive line has been playing lights out. The secondary has been a strength. They've been very opportunistic this year, giving the offense opportunities, whether it's interceptions or sacks. Of course, Fiend, I asked you to dig up the info on the guy we've been talking about since week one, and that's Trey White. I mean, just absolutely another dominating performance. And you know, when you needed him the most, he stepped up. He showed through, and he took over that game at the most critical point.
Yeah, I mean, it seemed like he had 3 sacks, but it seemed like he had 5 or even more. I mean, he just was constantly in the face of the QB, getting pressures, you know, and so disruptive all game. I mean, he has been the best defensive line player on our team by far. He leads the nation in sacks. He has 9 sacks in 5 games. Some of the players who have, are also up there for the lead have played 6 games. And the thing is, he had like a half sack for the first 2 games. So 8.5 sacks through the last 3 games. He is absolutely tearing it up. And I mean, you look at guys, he's already at 9 through 5. You look at some of the best players that we've had in the last 15 years on the Mesa. And you have Cam Thomas, 11.5 sacks. Jonah Tavai, 10.5 sacks. Miles Burris, 9.5 sacks. Calvin Munson, 9.5 sacks. He's there. He's almost there in 5 games. I mean, it's crazy. This guy, I don't know if he'll get the record. I think the record's like 20-something. I think it was Mike Douglas, 1976-21. Maybe he'll get there. But KGB, Kabir Bajabiamila, 34 sacks on his career. He may get, he may get over 20 in one season as a sophomore. So this is a very special player, what he's doing. I'm just interested to see how the opposing offense is going to defend him or, play him moving forward. Are they going to chip him? Are they going to double team him? Maybe that opens up more opportunities on the lines for, Marlon Lewis or Chris Clay and those guys to really get home, because now they're one-on-one or they're able to get free, or some of our linebackers. So yeah, he's so valuable. MVP, playing like a first team all Mountain West defensive player of the year. Who knows? If he keeps on this pace, he could be All-American as well.
Yeah, man, he's blossomed this year beyond anybody's expectations. Probably not his, but definitely ours. I thought he was a good player, and I didn't realize the difference it made him playing a more comfortable position. It's allowed him to be free and be who he is and play the way he likes to play. And man, what a difference, dude. It's like night and day, the player he is this year versus what he was last year.
I'm loving it. I mean, we've had those pass rushers very recently in the past, and we've done some big things when we did have that factor on the defense. But one thing in this game, guys, it was frustrating because we're seeing, we had Hawaii pinned in long down and distances, and sometimes, they got a good quarterback. He let it sling, and they would convert. A lot of times just throwing it up there, and dudes were really making some spectacular plays from their receivers. So you got to give them some credit. They made it a game, took the lead going in the fourth quarter. And like we said, just Trey, shut it down like John Taffer in that fourth quarter. And the Aztecs escape with the win. But they didn't just escape. I'm seeing in the chat. We made some field goals. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Welcome back.
Oh, man.
Kickballs.
Don't even get me started, bro. I complained enough about it last week. I'm not gonna go on a rant again this week about why Placencia wasn't kicking in Central Michigan.
Some things we'll never know, but it's all good. Yeah. The special teams. Let just give a little special teams love, because Placencia came in, knocked down a 40-something yarder. I think it was like a 45, 46 yarder, something around that sort. And we often give a lot of praise to the punters, and Tyler Pastula. Hey man, he's been playing as well as you can ask for a punter. We gave him some love last week. He had another nice outing this week. And our boy Ryan Wintermeyer, man, he was this close. Long snapper, this close to recovering a fumble on one of the punts. And it would have set us up so perfectly. I mean, not his fault. I mean, he was hustling down there. And I loved Sean Lewis's remarks on that. that, you know, he's just hustling down there. You know, they got an opportunity where I'm blocking. You just go. And he almost recovered it. So that would have been a really nice turn of events. And the score might have not been so tight at the end. But the Aztecs win. You guys got anything to add on special teams before we move forward?
Ryan's our guy, man. We love that dude. We've hung out with his family, man. He's awesome. Him and his family are great.
All right, guys. Well, before we get into some more questions, some more comments or concerns, just want to thank you guys. I'm going to take this moment to, I'm going to do what I do. And I'm going to promote Manscaped. If you guys see it up there in the top left, manscaped.com, we have a special, an ongoing special. And of course, you can save 20% off plus free shipping at manscaped.com by using the promo code SUNS20. It will support you. Every man needs support in their life, whether it's from your coach, your family, your girl, whatever it is. You need Manscaped to support your albondigas. You guys don't know what albondigas are. Go look it up. Anyways, I got the deodorant right here, Manscaped deodorant. And let me tell you, since I switched over, this thing is awesome. It's strong. It's fresh. It's a roll-on stick here. And it does the job, man. Kept me at the game very fresh and not funky because we were having a lot of fun out there on the grass. But save 20% off, free shipping, manscaped.com. SUNS20 is your promo code, guys. Go take advantage of it while you can. We will be continuing our official sponsorship with them throughout the year. So very happy to hear that. And yeah, make sure you guys go do that. Go do that. Go take advantage. All right, guys.
I saw Matt putting that on. I saw Matt putting that on Sunday before we went to the Padres game, man. He's getting all fresh with his Manscaped. So he's
refined.
True.
It's refined deodorant. Anything else would be uncivilized, guys. Come on.
All right, brother.
All right. So I saw in the chat everybody was saying they enjoy our pregame vlogs that we've been we call them the Tailgate Always Wins. On YouTube, we got our own little playlist of the Tailgate Always Wins. It gives you guys a sneak peek of what's going on at the tailgate. So we're gonna give you guys just a little reaction of what was going on at the tailgate.
Hell yeah, brother.
Like 5 people try to stop us, and I'm like, chicks dig the long ball. Let's go, baby.
Yeah. Let's go. Let's go.
A 1-2 from Yamamoto, got a fastball over the plate, lifted it to deep left center field, and it is gone! Manny Machado with a 2-run home run, and the Padres with 3 in the first.
Just hangs in the middle of the zone. He knows it.
You gotta love that scene of Andrew just rolling around on the grass after Manny Machado hit. Like he was literally doing like grass angels in the River Park. It was great. It was great. Too bad the Padres lost that game, but it's all good. We'll get into that soon enough. I see you. I see you waiting to get in here, Mike. I see you chomping at the bit. Okay, a couple more questions, guys. Thank you guys for checking that out. The Tailgate Always Wins. Again, we saw Guy Fieri lead the Warrior Walk. I mean, that's just hilarious, right? Guy Fieri, his son goes to state, and officially, what do they say? Flavortown, Aztec Nation,
Mayor of Flavortown, yeah.
The mayor of Flavortown. Yeah, he's a UNLV guy too, right? So
He is, yeah.
That's blasphemy, dude.
It's all right. He's from NorCal originally, Santa Rosa. I got my family
Yeah.
out there in Santa Rosa. They were all happy to see that he was rolling down representing the Aztecs. So it's all love. It's all love. Okay, guys, I think it's a good point in time to bring in. We could talk more football, but this was a big weekend in San Diego. Of course, with the Padres, you cannot escape all the fever that's taken over. Aztec Nation is made up of a lot of fans, right? Because, like we said, I mean, Guy Fieri, he's from Bay Area, went to UNLV. His son now goes to state, so probably a house divided. Oh no, I see what's going on here. We got a lot of Aztecs fans that are Padres fans, Giants fans, Diamondbacks fans, and unfortunately some Dodgers fans as well.
Oh man.
And in the podcast, we don't stop that, right? We're all Aztec Nation, and so we have some amongst us in our midst. And right now we're going to bring into the podcast. He's been writing articles for us this season entitled The Red and Black Report. And it's been looking at the football team each week and kind of breaking down their performance is like a ledger, right? Like you're in the red or you're in the black. What's helping us, what's taken away from us. And it's been really fun to read. We got a different mic in the house today, everybody. We got a different mic. Mike, what's going on, Mr. Mike Minharis? What's going on? Oh, it's so ugly.
Oh,
it's
man.
so ugly.
Get him out of here.
Who let this guy in here?
Okay, we can do both.
There we go. Sorry, man. I know I might railroaded you by asking you to come on the pod, but he decided to come on in and say, hey, we're gonna talk some Aztecs, we're gonna talk some Padres, Dodgers. So thanks for joining us, man. How you doing, Mike?
I'm good, man. Thanks for the invite. Yeah, always a pleasure. Always great to see you all, James and Fee, man. Always a pleasure. You guys are doing great work. So happy to spend a few minutes with you. Got to represent Boys in Blue every now and then. But yeah, no, it's awesome. It's been a great joy to do the Red and Black Report. We thought we'd just do something fun this year, a little bit different, focus on really, again, something positive, something that the team needs to work on. We try to be fair. We try to point out things that we think are holding us back a bit. And when you're sitting at 2-3, there's many things holding you back. So it's been a fun thing to write. Looking forward to it. Got the next one already outlined. So I don't know how much I should say about it, but the Red and Black Report will be out later this week. The red was pretty, the black actually was pretty easy. It kind of came really quickly watching that game. I think you've hit on some of those things. I'll highlight those in the article. The black was a little harder to come up with because, again, a good game against Hawaii. Nice to capture a win. But, stay tuned. It'll be in your inboxes soon.
Well, give us I guess just your impressions of watching this game before we get into some Padres talk. What do you think about this game against Hawaii, man? And now we're coming up on the road against Wyoming, who, they're no slouch. Not the Wyoming they were under Coach Bull, but what are your thoughts?
Yeah, so I think you guys hit on the main points. Danny, I think, had a great game at QB1. He is showing such poise, and the growth that he's made already this season is pretty staggering, really, from when he started, when he was missing throws early on, and now he's really putting it on the dime. I mean, he's got a nice deep ball. He's got great touch, and we haven't seen that in a while. So it's great to see him kind of develop right before our eyes. I think that's a really good thing. Happy with Cooper. I think that what a great back, what a pickup for him. I don't know that he's getting the blocking that he needs, but that also could be due to the shuffling that's happening in the offensive line, some of the injuries that their guys are battling through. I think you see the potential, though. I mean, his vision, his ability to cut on a dime and accelerate quickly through the hole, it's great. I mean, you see why he's the leading returning rusher in, college football. You see all the skills that he has. But the biggest thing for me is you mentioned Trey White. I mean, the guy's dominant. He was a great player at Eastlake High. I was really fortunate that he decided to stay home, stay local. I'm really hoping that that'll keep him here for the next couple of years as he blows up. What a great player. He plays with a fantastic motor. He reminds me a lot of Cameron Thomas and what Cameron did when he was here. Just a terrific off the line, great first step, intensity, plays hard. one of the things that it's kind of hinting at what my black might be is that he had a roughing the passer penalty, which was a little soft, gotta say. I mean, he barely hit him, maybe one step late, half a step late. But he didn't put his head down. He didn't say that's on me, or hey, I'm terrible now, take me out. No, I mean, he just came back and said, okay, you know what, I'll finish this. I'm gonna make a play to help us. I do think the one unsung player that you haven't really mentioned is the punter. He helped flip the field at least once, and he's been very consistent this year with some of his punting. And I don't think that he's been talked much about. I think he's kind of take it for granted. You get spoiled with some of the punters that we've had with Browning, and then with Ariza before him. You get spoiled with what we had. But when a good punter really keeps you in the game, especially when it's close contest, when you are trying to ground it out, and you've got a punter that can pin a team deep, you make them drive the length of the field, you've got something there. And we're definitely seeing that. So that's the one thing I think that you guys haven't talked about that I was really seeing, like, hey, our punter is doing a great job.
Oh, we talk about it, Mike. You take that back. We will have no slander. We're the only ones that show pastoral love.
Maybe not
the only ones.
Maybe not tonight.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was good. Great to get the
win.
That's a good point you made about the punter, man, for Wyoming. That's going to be fun to watch what he does up there in the elevation, because that ball moves up there, man. So he could be the game changer for this game on Saturday.
Absolutely.
And then depending on which way the wind is blowing, you might get an even extra boost with that.
Yeah, could your rival Ariza's 90-yard punt or whatever it was, that one, it was insane. But I think that it was nice to see Placentia get back out there. I'm with James. I don't quite understand what happened there. I think the kid's now 4 or 5 on the season or something like that. I mean, he's performing. He seems confident out there. I think it was helpful to have somebody like that be in the game, and it was nice to hear that he won. That's another thing I'll mention in the black part of the ledger, is having him be there. That's great.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's gonna be a tough challenge, but I'm eager to get out there. We're gonna make that trip.
Wow.
I'm curious to see what they do out there. Their environment. They're always a tough defensive test for us. But I don't know. We'll have to do some digging in that. Maybe I'll get Coach C on the horn this week and take a look at those guys.
Can you tell our listeners about how you guys are getting to Wyoming?
On a burro, on a donkey. No, so the plan is Friday we are flying to Denver, right? And the airport in Denver is not even in Denver, so that's going to be a journey within itself. Flying into Denver, renting an RV, and driving that sucker up to Laramie, all through the windy road of Colorado mountains up to Laramie, Wyoming. So it's going to be a blast. It's going to be a real adventure. We're going to have to make several stops along the way and just check out what the people out there in Wyoming are doing with themselves. And it's going to be fun. I can't wait, man. Can't wait.
Yeah,
sounds like a cool trip.
We're doing a true guys like roadie. So it's going to be interesting to see. I think we're actually like camping out in the parking lot at the stadium Friday night.
Yeah, because here's the thing about Laramie, like, it's such a tiny town, right? The whole state basically comes to Laramie for game day. I mean, it's such a scarcely populated state. So everybody goes into Laramie on game day. So they open up the parking lot if you want to camp overnight. You know what I mean? And there's not many hotels there, and all the ones that are there are just completely jacked up. They're so expensive. It's just, it made more sense. Like, let's do the RV thing. Let's do it.
Got the Sons of Montezuma flannel PJs ready?
It's not gonna be that cold.
I can't wait to see video of that trip. That's gonna be so much fun.
Your
vlogs next week.
Yeah, we'll be curious to see how many other Aztec fans join you out there. I mean, that's a show of commitment to get out to Laramie. It's not like you're be going to some amusement parks while you're there, hitting up some great museums. I mean, you're going to be in Wyoming. No offense to the Wyoming folks out there. I'm sure it's a wonderful state. I've been there twice. But, it's not one of those destination cities, shall we say, Laramie, Wyoming. So real commitment that you're headed out there to watch the boys. Good job.
Oh, man, it would have been so depressing if we would have lost to Hawaii and then have to go out to Wyoming.
I know.
No. Thank you guys for pulling out that victory. Yes. Now I'm hyped up. I'm ready.
That might have taken some of the wind out of our sails, dude.
Yeah.
For going to that game. But yeah, we figured it's probably the last time we're ever going to play up there. So we figured we should do it at least once just to say we've done it. And we turned it into, it seems like it's going to be a really fun trip. So we'll see.
I don't remember Kevin Wilson. I don't remember that game where we had like 3 punts for a total of 30 yards or something. Still, I don't remember that. I'm glad I don't though, because that sounds horrible.
I think I do. I want to say it was like the Tollner years, but I could be wrong. And I remember, I think the wind was so bad that like every time they kicked the ball, it would like go backwards.
Oh God!
It was like a crazy windy day, and we were a pretty good passing team, and we couldn't throw the ball because it was so windy.
Yeah, it's pretty heckle and jive. Heckle and what is it? What's that?
Jekyll and Hyde. Jekyll and Hyde.
Jekyll and Hyde. Jekyll and Hyde. Yeah.
That's why you turn to the right.
The weather. All right, I'm seeing some fire in the chat, guys. I'm seeing some fire in the chat. I think we should address the situation. So before I ask Mike some hard-hitting questions about his Doyers, let's take a look.
Is lifted in the air to left field.
This hit
back, tiptoeing to the corner. He's at the
and the
wall.
catch, even better. Even better, guys.
It's so funny that it fooled the broadcast.
He caught it. Mookie Betts
now this is what started it all, right?
That it's a home run. Jurickson Profar says
he's hopping around.
I got it. He was doing the.
You gotta love this angle. You gotta love that angle.
Milk this for about 15 seconds. Watch this. He goes in. I thought he caught it the first time, but the way
he saved that woman's life, man. He saved that woman's life sitting there. She should be thanking him.
He's just going to play. You know what? I'm going to talk to the fans a little bit, bounce up and down. I'm not even going to let my teammates know I've got it. Talking with the umpires about somebody in the crowd. Remember, Jurickson went into the crowd.
I told you guys that angry Profar, that's good for us.
That's not cool. That is not cool. Comes out of the crowd.
Don't be that guy.
Understandably not happy. Profar's hot.
Look at your fan base, Mike. Must be so proud.
Poor Mike has a spear.
Do I see a syringe yet? Do I see a syringe?
The field, of course, extends to the fan bases as well, but no excuse for what we're seeing right now.
You gotta love that shot. Manny brought the team together in the dugout.
Merrill sends one in the air to left
and
field.
This.
Teoscar Hernandez going back. He's out of room, and the rookie has gone the other way. A 2-run home run for Jackson Merrill, and a 6-1 lead for San Diego.
Oh, the torture we're putting Mike through right now.
I'm good. At this point, I was headed to a gas station to get some gas in the car. I pulled into the parking lot after in my garage, and all I heard was the whole neighborhood around me just explode. And I was like, "Oh, Padres hit another home run." I already knew what was happening, so I walked in the house. I was like, "What's the score now?" Yep.
Oh boy. Okay. So let me ask you this, Mr. Minihars, because all those home runs came off of a hot Profar and the fans throwing stuff on the field, man. I mean, how do you stand on that situation, them throwing stuff out on the field?
Oh, I mean, come on. There is no stand, right? You're either right or you're wrong. The right is don't throw things. That's ridiculous. These are players, these are athletes. I mean, you could hurt somebody seriously. Don't do that. It doesn't matter what he said to you. It doesn't matter what Tonsi did to you, if they did any. There is some Twitter out there, some taunting by that Padre outfielders. I won't name names, but he was famous for a cream that he took for something behind his ear. But you can't be throwing stuff. That's absolutely ridiculous. That you just can't have it. If somebody else says, "Oh, they were justified," or, no, you're wrong. Sorry, I don't entertain that nonsense. It's wrong. Anytime, any place, you can't do that. Be a fan, root for your team, yell and scream. Do not throw stuff. That's absolutely stupid. So I don't care whose fan base it is. You know, the Dodgers don't always have the best rep up there, and deservedly so. Some of the things that they've done over the years, especially, you know, Giants fans, it's ridiculous. It's sad. It's like, come on now. We can't be doing that stuff. You know, aren't we all part of if you're all a baseball fan, then tip your cap to the Padres and say, hey, they just smoked you. You know, they had 6 home runs off you on postseason record, I think. You know, just Jackson Merrill kid is killing it. Like, so you tip your cap and you say, hey, nice game. Congratulations. You won. We'll see you in Petco at Dodger Stadium South. Like, we'll be there. You know?
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a
minute.
Look, more slander here. More slander. Come on, we got the season series on you guys like before the last series was even about to take place. So I don't know. I'll be curious to see how many Dodgers fans make it out tomorrow, though. I will be real curious to see.
Yeah, I think it'll be more than a few. Yeah, but no, I mean, I don't know if you'll believe me, but I told people before the series started, I even talked to the girls at Helix. I'm like, this Padre team scares me. I'll be straight up with you. Nobody's coming in hotter. Nobody's coming with more swagger. Nobody's coming with more belief. They've got great pitching. They have a sense now that they can match up with anybody, and they won the series, like you mentioned, for this season. So the Dodgers don't intimidate the Padres. That's at all. They believe that they're going to win this series. You can just tell. So
no one has the ghost of Peter Seidler, but the Padres.
Right. But
so big factor. These guys are playing for Peter Seidler.
I'll tell you, the bigger factor is no Trent Grisham. That's a bigger factor. That you don't got a Mr. Strikeout. I'm going to talk smack, but I can't back it up because I haven't done anything in my whole career. But you replace him with Jackson Merrill, and all of a sudden you got a team. You got somebody that actually can produce. So now if Jackson Merrill was talking smack, I'd be like, okay, that kid's earned it. Like, he's had an amazing rookie year. He probably should be rookie of the year, but he's not as popular as Skeens. He doesn't have as nice a girlfriend. So, okay, I hear you. But the kid has been in my mind, he's the difference maker. Him and Arise, really, those two, they get it. That's it. So to me, Grisham, I'm glad he's out of here. He was talking smack and he couldn't back it up, hitting 197 or whatever it was that he was doing. Get out of here. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm excited. I'm excited that it's now a true rivalry. Now this is what you want. I mean, for years the Dodgers have dominated. I'm sorry, 11 NL West titles in 12 years is domination. Holmes, look it up.
Fair. That's fair.
But nowadays in sports, it only matters what you do in the postseason. And the postseason, the Dodgers have stunk it up. They've underachieved. They've gotten beat by the Padres and everybody else you want to name. The Diamondbacks, the Phillies, the Braves. It don't matter. The Dodgers don't show up in the playoffs. Okay.
Okay. Brandon says, how do we feel about Dave Roberts' comments regarding Manny? Have you heard those? Fiend? I have not heard those. I have not heard those comments. So I don't know how I feel about Dave Roberts. What did you hear, James?
Yeah, he supposedly, Manny was getting into it with Flaherty. And supposedly Manny threw a ball into the Dodgers dugout. You know how when they're warming up with their balls, they usually just throw them into the dugout. And apparently Flaherty said he threw it at Dave Roberts, and that's why they were arguing. And so Dave Roberts, he said, "Oh, I didn't know it happened at the time, but I saw a video, and maybe he threw it at me." And then he just said something to the effect of, "Well, those Padres enjoy being the villain," or something like that. So it's kind of much ado about nothing, but you know how it is. The Padres Twitter and Dodgers Twitter are going to make it a thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's obvious Manny doesn't like the Dodgers, right? He's a full-on Padre now. He played for the Dodgers for a little bit. He failed in bringing us a championship. He wasn't very good.
Failed in bringing us a championship.
Do we have a flag that he could sign? No.
Give me I mean, Manny was on that team, but it's not like you guys weren't loaded in every other position like you guys are every single year.
Wasn't he the big midseason pickup that was going to put us over the top?
Mid-season pickup. He was not like the driving force of that team like how he is for the Padres. He was not depended upon as like the absolute clubhouse leader.
He was going to put us over the top. He was going to Max, and then a few years later, it's going to be Max Scherzer going to put us over the top. Didn't happen.
Still salty.
Yeah. I mean, has he paid that guy his 1 year salary yet?
Dude, it's funny you were talking about.
I bet he hasn't paid him yet. So
it's funny you're talking about it.
He doesn't pay for COVID championships.
Yeah. Well, hey, I mean, Manny's playing great. I mean, again, the great triple play that he pulled off to clinch the Padres spot in the playoffs against the Dodgers. If Rojas does anything but hit into a triple play, the Dodgers probably sweep that series because it's got Ohtani up. But Manny made a wonderful pick on a hot smash, got his feet exactly right to hit that bag at third, threw a bullet to Cronenworth at second that was so on the money that it actually put Cronenworth in a great position to transition from the catch to the throw so quickly to pull off that double play or that triple play. Manny made that play. Manny was outstanding. That is as great a play as you can make at that position. And so, again, I'm not a hater in the sense that I hate everything about them and nothing they do is good. I can recognize game. Game recognizes game, and that guy has game, but he also does some things that get under your skin, and he does it intentionally. He tries. He wants to get under your skin. So, all right, great, okay. For me, just like, dude, I got it. Like, let's go. I got to be able to give as good as I get. So I'm getting it. I got it at work. I'm good. I'm here. But let's you guys still got to win 2 more, and then after that, don't throw a parade. You still have to win before you get the parade. Don't be getting the parade. I don't want to hear any reservations, calling in sick, being downtown, welcome the players back. No, dude, act like you've been there.
Oh, Aztec Nation, you gotta love it, Aztec Nation. We're all together fighting amongst ourselves with this. It'll always be this way. The next Aztec player who wears an LA Dodgers hat. Oh boy. Oh boy.
Yeah, no, I mean, I respect you all for having me on. And I told Mateo, I said, look, just so you know, I am a Dodgers fan. I think that's why he reached out. So I wanted to make sure that there was no surprises. I'm not coming out here with a false pretense, no Trojan horse here. I'm coming here flying my white and blue. I got my bets in the back. We're good. And if you beat us, I will not be surprised. There is a reason why every Fox in-studio expert picked the Padres to win the series in 5, except for the guy who gets paid by the Dodgers. Even then, he kind of winked and said, are you trying to get me fired, folks? So everybody picked the Padres. Come on now. Like, everybody knew this is the hottest team in baseball. They are exactly the type of team you should be worried about. They remind me much of the Diamondbacks last year, who went on a great run to the World Series. This team believes in themselves. They believe they're going to win every single game. They believe they match up with anybody. That's a tough team to get out.
If that guy got fired, it's okay. Shohei could just pay his salary. It's okay. Shohei will take care of everybody.
Yeah, I mean, how do you all feel about it? Sitting tied 1-1.
It's exciting, man. I'm stoked. I think the momentum is really heavily in the Padres' favor right now. Yeah. But that could change as early as tomorrow, man. So I'm in no means am I comfortable. It's exciting though to be here and have basically home field advantage at this point. So yeah, I'm stoked. I can't wait for the game tomorrow.
Yeah, I think in years past I would have been worried, at this point playing the Dodgers, but I don't think anyone fears the Dodgers now, and so we're not worried. We're just excited, to have 2 games at home and let's let it all hang out and see what we can do and beat these guys again and move on.
I'm liking our chances with the starting matchup as well. I'm liking our chances.
I mean, you have to recognize a friend of mine is a big Padre fan, called me a couple days ago and said, all right, I want your take on the series. Call me on Friday. And I told him, I said, I'm worried. I think you guys have the advantage. I think this has to be the Padres' year when you think about they played the Braves without Chris Sale. Chris Sale's injured. You all didn't face probably the Cy Young winner of the National League this year, right? That would have been a real test for you all, and a test for him to go through this lineup. You're now facing the Dodgers without their number 1. Glass now is the big offseason pickup on the rotation side of things till Ohtani comes back next year and pitches. And you're not facing Glass right now. He's out. And probably the 3rd best pitcher that they had in Gavin Stone this year, he's not pitching against you all. He's out for the season. Yamamoto's still coming back. He's only been back a couple games, 3 games, I think, that he's come back. He was gone for 3 months. And so now he's finally back. You're catching this team at a time when they're not at their best. That's when you have to take advantage. Whether that is the Padres, whether that was the Aztecs in the Final 4 run when they played Furman instead of Virginia, they took advantage of that. When they couldn't a few years before when they played Gulf Coast instead of Georgetown, and they failed miserably. So your team has to take advantage, right? You're given these opportunities, you're given these advantages, not for anything that you did, but because of injuries. But that's when you have to take advantage. That's when you win. No one's going to remember that you beat the Braves without Sale. Nobody's going to remember you beat the Dodgers without Glasnow. If you win it all, they're going to remember you won it all. And that's what people care about. So in my mind, you have to take advantage of this. And I could see a total redemption story for the Padres already happening. I can see you beating the Dodgers, beating the Phillies, and then taking care of the Yankees in the World Series. Now imagine how storybook that would be for Padre fans to run that gauntlet with this team this year. I don't know that you can write a better story. And as somebody who likes to write stories, I'm always interested in storylines.
Yeah.
You forgot the X factors. We have no Hassan Kim, so hey, the Dodgers, they got no excuses. No excuses. No Hassan Kim, dude. You guys got to handle business. No, I mean, no Musgrove. I was leading up to that.
Okay,
no, Joe. No, Joe.
No average Joe. No average Joe.
Average.
He was average when he came to the Padres. Check his record. Check his career record.
Yeah.
I'm not making stuff up. I'm just saying what's real. Now he's played much better than his career numbers with the Padres, and I think it's probably because he's comfortable here. He likes it here. You know, he's happy being with the Padres. He's proud of his hometown. You know, all that stuff. All that stuff matters. And so I think, you know, Musgroves has shown that all that stuff really does matter. But again,
it's like Profar. It's like Profar. He came back. You know, he wanted to be back first and foremost. But he just loves San Diego, the comfortability with the guys in the clubhouse, and it's shown big time.
He was a bit of an afterthought, though, this year. It's not like you guys, you know, targeted him in the offseason and said, we have to bring Profar back because he's going to be our leader this year and he's going to step up. None of you did that. You know, I don't remember you saying that. I can go back on Twitter, but I don't think so. You know, when you signed Profar back, it was like, oh, I guess so. You know, nobody else out there. You know, we don't have the money the Dodgers do, so we'll take Profar. And the guy stepped up. Again, Merrill wasn't even supposed to make this team in spring training. But he had an amazing spring training, and he forced his way onto the roster, and now he's forced his side into, you know, hey, I'm rookie of the year. I'm one of the best players out here, and I'm not even playing my natural position. Dang, dude. Like, okay. you know, again, I'm willing to give credit where credit is due. And because you won 90 plus games, because you're playing so well, you deserve credit. Let's go. Let's be honest.
So essentially all the pressure's on the Dodgers. If they don't pull out this series, I mean, it's going to be how do you even, you know, with the payroll, with all the injuries, I get it, but all the pressure's on LA. They're playing as though they don't have any fire in their bellies.
What?
They're playing as if they don't have any fire.
Did you not watch game one? Did you not watch game one? And what happened in game
that
one?
That was all of our mistakes. We let you guys win that game. All of our mistakes. That was so uncharacteristic of this year's Padres team, letting the ball go past the outfield. Walking the 8th and 9th batters. Like, give me a break. That was all self-inflicted wounds.
Let's see, the last series of the season, Dodgers won 2 of 3. And how many runs did we score in those last 2 games? Oh, and then we did the same thing in the first game of the playoffs.
But that's because they were all hungover. We won the first game and we partied. We went out partying. We cared about it. We were in the playoffs.
I didn't hear this was excuse podcast. What are these excuses I'm hearing now? All of a sudden, these excuses start pouring out. Every time you guys are losing. What's going on here? So, I mean, please, the Dodgers recognize you are now a true competitor. Finally, after how many years with you all? 60-some, whatever it's been.
Yeah.
You know, welcome. You're finally playing big boy ball.
Now they accept it as a rivalry. It wasn't a rivalry before that, though.
No, our rival's the Giants. Everybody knows that. Our rival is the Giants, and then Vince Scully would tell you our rival after that would be the St. Louis Cardinals. That's how the Dodger goes, and then the Padres are in there after that. That's what Scully would say. And but yeah, I mean, look, can the Dodgers win 2 in a row? Of course they can. They have the best record in the National League. They've got Ohtani, Betts, Freeman, although who knows if Freeman's going to play with his ankle. You know, but we'll see. We'll see who can do it. My biggest concern has always been the Dodgers rotation, and it showed up again. Yamamoto had a terrible outing. The Padres own that dude. They owned him in Korea. They've owned him in Dodger Stadium. Flaherty couldn't handle the pressure being in that situation, giving up bombs, getting distracted. And Roberts threw that game at the end, just like, hey, I'm gonna throw in these guys that, you know, not gonna see the rest of the series, hopefully. And then you got Buehler tomorrow, who is not the Walker Buehler of a couple of years ago. This guy is his big issue. He gives up home runs. So anybody want to do over under on how many Padre home runs tomorrow? Because it's going to be more than 5, I would think. You know, Buehler taps into some magic. King looked wonderful in his first outing in the playoffs. Can he repeat that? Yeah. We'll see. So, and then you come down, if you win tomorrow, you've got to win game 4. And then, you know, who the Dodgers going to throw? Probably Landon Knack. Landon Knack make you nervous?
Who?
Nope.
Yeah, exactly. That's who the Dodgers are throwing out there. So despite their payroll, for me, I don't know about the pressure, but yeah, it would be nice if they win. But I say no pressure because guess what? if the Dodgers lose, they will be right back here next year. You can book it. You could already sell tickets. It will be here.
No pressure because they don't believe. They don't have the belief in themselves.
When you won it 7 times, you got the trophy. You're polishing the trophy. You know, it means more when you haven't done it yet in your entire history. You've been leading every time you've gone there. Yeah, it means more to you. Okay, I get it.
Yeah, totally. I was curious about Xander when he got hurt and then he hit that homer. So we'll have to see if he how good he is moving forward, especially on the defensive side. But we'll see. I'm pumped up for the next 2 days in San Diego. Are going to be wild. I don't know where anybody's watching the game. We'll have to figure that out.
Yeah, you might be able to get one of these hats.
Oh man.
Does that have an asterisk on it? I think it has an asterisk. Right?
No, I think they won every game that they needed to win. They had the same chance as everybody else. See, this to me is what it's supposed to be, right? This is supposed to be, right? It's the give and take, back and forth. Let's have some fun. We all like each other. We all respect each other. We have different, viewpoints on how this should go. This is what it's supposed to be, folks. Like, this is fandom. This is sports. This is what brings people together. Like, the Padres win, I'll buy you all a beer. I got no problem with that. You guys earned it. You guys have waited a long time. Okay. Dude, maybe it's because I'm old now. I don't have that. Players have the fire in the belly. I don't have the fire in the belly as much.
Dude, I was going back and forth with my Dodger fans friends yesterday. And when the crowd started throwing stuff on the field, I was like, "Oh yeah, that's not a rivalry atmosphere at all." I've never seen you guys, your fans, throw stuff on the field for the Giants, because they tell me every time it's not a rivalry. It's not a rivalry, and I was like, "Yeah, that seems like not a rivalry behavior. What's going on in that stadium right now?"
You're right. It's not a rivalry. It's not a rivalry. We just get under your skin.
That's normal behavior. That's normal behavior up there for Dodgers, though.
The only thing that's under my skin is all the smack talk from a team that hasn't won anything. Like, when you win something, to me, then you get the cred. Like, you can start talking smack. Yeah, exactly. So, stop talking. That's all that gets under my skin.
Like that.
Hey, and I know Brandon Quincy personally. That dude is a awesome teacher at Eastlake High. He is a big fan of Trey White as well. Brandon does wonderful work in the community. This is a good dude right there. I'll let him make fun of me all day because that's a really good dude.
Let's go. Mike, thank you so much, man. We look forward to your articles every single week. The Red and Black Report for the Aztecs, Aztec Nation. We can all get along. It's proof. But not these next 2 days. I look forward to the Padres taking down the Dodgers, but we appreciate you joining, man. We'll talk very soon.
My pleasure, man. Thank you. All appreciate it. Catch you on the flip side. All right. We'll see you.
Good seeing you, Mike. Take care. Have a good one. Go Padres.
I love it.
Snuck it in right there at the end.
Excellent. At the end of the day, just got to win. Let's go, Padres. Let's do this.
That's it.
I hope you guys all enjoyed that little deviation from what we usually do here on the Sons of Montezuma podcast. But, I can't wait for these games. Padres, Dodgers, it doesn't get any better. Love to see it. Got to ride that wave, like we said. Aztecs got to show up in Laramie this weekend. Hopefully we'll have some more things coming down this week. Take a good look at Danny O'Neill, his progression. Hopefully I could get Coach C and we'll sit down. But, got to do it before we hit town to Denver and Laramie, man. Got to do it somehow. Got to find the time.
Not enough hours in a day for you, dude.
All right, guys. How do you think we should end this episode? How should we end this thing? Got to send everybody off right. Any score predictions, or we should save that for a different game? I'm talking Padres. Dodgers.
Oh, for the Padres Dodgers. Oh man. No, dude. I just hope the Padres win, man. I don't care if it's by 1-0 or whatever, dude. As long as they win.
Yeah, gotta get. I feel like if we get a win tomorrow, that's just gonna set us up for the next game. You're gonna have just so much. Everyone's just gonna be on fire. I mean, this would be awesome if we could close them out at our place. In Game 4, get that win and move on. That'd be awesome. I'd love to see them, clinch this division at home. So let's go get these next two.
Yeah, if they get the game tomorrow, the game on Wednesday is going to be nuclear, man. It's going to be crazy inside that stadium.
Yeah.
Repeat performance of 2 years ago. That'd be amazing. It would be amazing. All right. Thank you guys for joining. We're going to leave you guys on that note and look forward to some more Aztec coverage this week. Until next time, everybody, have a safe night. Get your rest up. You got to be loud tomorrow wherever you guys are around the city and around the county. Go Aztecs, go Padres. Everybody have a good night.
Go Aztecs.
Go Aztecs, go Padres.
Go Padres.
Yeah.